What up, dolls? It is me, Chad the Diamond. Welcome back to another video. Today, I will be repainting a Bratz doll inspired by trad goth makeup. This doll is actually a commission, and I was so excited when my client presented me with this idea because I have never done anything remotely close to this. I am a huge fan of this type of makeup, and I give mad respect to anyone who gets into trad goth makeup every single day. You are the literal definition of committing to the bit, and you are the proof to mothers everywhere that, no mom, it's not a phase. Now, shortly before we get to the repaint, I have two things that I want to announce that will be of benefit to you. First, in the description, I have provided you all a link to all of the supplies that I use for repaints and doll customizing, and you will find in this link everything that you need to get started on your repaints. I'm so glad I was able to put this together in time for this video because I wish I had something like this when I started repainting Bratz dolls. And second, the longer version of this video is now up on my Patreon. That longer version is loaded with way more repainting tips and other helpful info. In addition, there are some other exciting perks waiting for you already if you decide to join and support this channel through my Patreon, which I want to thank those who decide to join in advance, and I hope you get a lot out of it. Okay, so that's all I have to say. So now let's get to the repainting. Okay, bitch, I'm done. The doll I chose to do this look on is Fabulous Vegas Tiana, the reproduction version. She originally comes with bangs, but I did remove it. Regrettably, I did not film it. And I also rerouted more red into her hair, just because the original amount of red hair that she was working with was not enough for me. I wanted more red to peek through her jet black hair, and in this way it just looks cool now. I'm taking acetone to remove her factory paint, and to get into the crevices of her lips, I love using these double-ended pointed tipped Q-tips. That was kind of hard to say. So now that I have cleared her face, I will go in with watered down acrylic paint. Everything's watered down. I like using gray acrylic paint for my sketching. I will start sketching out an eye shape and laying down a design. These Q-tips, I'm telling you, they are my best friend in the entire world, and they will be your best friend if you want to start repainting. What I do here is, again, I'm rough sketching ideas down in shapes. I go back and forth the acrylic paint and the Q-tips. If I don't like something I put down, I can just erase it with the precision that we want, and it's no biggie. More shapes, more sketching, and there's actually no Mr. Super Clear layer on here. I just want to point that out. And at this stage, I'm sort of very rough here. I find that the more I go on and sketch things out, the vision of the face becomes more clear in my mind because I don't plan out my repaints. And then, you know, you could just start to clean things up. Maybe you redraw them better. I was pretty pleased quickly with what I came up with, so I went ahead and did most of the design on the other side. So now here I am officially starting to repaint, and I'll always start by filling in the eyeliner with, in this case, black. I will always outline the eyeliner and the iris circle before painting anything else because those shapes are the most important to get right in my opinion. Especially the irises. I live for a perfect semicircle or close to it. I just really love knowing the boundaries that I shall not cross with the white paint when I start painting the scleras white. I'm adding a little red liner to the middle of her waterline since I will be painting her eyes red. And I wanted to create a look where the red eyes are sort of like bleeding into the waterline. I'm doing this ombre effect with her irises, adding a darker red at the outer edges, and then using a like burgundy type color to draw the lines stemming out of the pupil. I went ahead and did the other eye, and I know it is noticeably different. in color and saturation. I guess my camera died when I was doing this, but I added white paint near the pupils and a sort of soft black color on the outer edge of her irises, so it made everything more contrasted. I'm painting her lips red here, even though I had a feeling that I wasn't gonna like it, but I just had to see for myself if, you know, that intuition was right. And it was. I knew that I wanted to mainly keep the red in her face, like just in her eye area, to make them really pop and striking. So I'm just going to paint her lips with straight up black. And as you can see, the edges of her lips are not as clean as we can get them. So I am going to clean up the edges with acrylic black paint instead of black gouache paint, which is what I used for the lips earlier. Gouache is more watery. With the edges of the lips, it can sort of break up while it's drying because it's too wet. So to retain a clean edge, I'm using acrylic paint because it's thicker, and you can definitely see the difference now. I'm itching to get to the lashes, so I'll finally finish going over the liner with the black gouache. Oh, and I forgot to paint her an exposed waterline. There's something that I always love about a pink waterline on a doll. That fleshy pink tone of a waterline, or maybe like a tear duct. There's just something both delicate but also raw at the same time. And it brings a little bit of realism to the Bratz doll, sort of like a BJD. I live for that. I'm using gouache for the eyelashes because I always use gouache for these. When watered down, it really, again, acts like an ink. And depending on how thin your brush is, I mean, you can make them the thinnest lines. Like, it's crazy. I'm doing a wispy lash pattern, so that's when the lashes are really angled, and as they meet in the middle, they're close to being upright, so it looks like the lashes are fanning out in this way. As you saw earlier, I like to just put them down and not really overthink it. You can always erase. If you think the lash is too far from each other or angled weird, you can always fix mistakes. And voila, we're pretty much done with the painting portion of the face up. Finally, time to move on to the pastels and the makeup of it all. I will wrap her up finally, for the first time, to spray her with Mr. Super Clear. After the Mr. Super Clear is on, I actually like to take out the wrapping so her hair can show while I'm putting down the pastels, because for me, it's kind of hard to put the pastel on without seeing how it looks with her hair. That's just me. So if you're like that, it's okay, you can do that too. So I'm putting down the pastels, and I already just knew where I wanted to place these. And this is obviously gonna be the first layer of pastels. We're gonna go back and wrap her hair up again and spray her with more Mr. Super Clear and just repeat the process, adding more pastels. And to clean things up, I'm using a kneaded eraser. I really like what I did here, so I'm gonna do the other side. And that's the first layer. So now we're gonna do another layer of MSC, and then just, again, build on top of it and really get into it, girl. This is so satisfying for me because, I don't know, I really love pastels. I just really do. You want to erase things all the time. You don't want like a lot of debris, especially if you're working with black pastels. You want to make sure that you're not getting black pastels in places you don't want, because it can stick to the surface pretty easily. You just want to be mindful and not accidentally spray black pastel in places that you didn't plan on. So just always be mindful of getting rid of debris, and that goes for any color. Here, I'm brightening up her face with white pastels just to make her look more pale. You know, she is goth, she is very traditional goth, and I really wanted such a brighter middle of her face, so she just looks like dead. Because we used so much white pastel, every black paint on her face got dusty, so I'm painting over all of it with gouache paint. That's how she looks like when she's done. she's back. And then I'm also just painting like her scleras too, just in case. Like I feel like it kind of became a little discolored with all those pastel dust flying around. We're pretty much done, guys. Like I'm now sealing every acrylic part on her face with matte varnish, and then with her lips I'm using a satin varnish just to give it a little bit more gloss feel. I made this outfit for her. Maybe I'll do a tutorial of like an outfit similar to this in the future, but like this time I didn't want to do it because I was kind of running out of time. But that's the vibe, and this is for photos mainly, so you know it's a hot glue mess in the back, which I'm not going to show you, but I'm so proud of this repaint. And here are the finished edited photos. You know, I love me a fantasy, a little edit, a little editorial moment. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like the finished product. This was fun. Of course, these photos are on Instagram if you want to take a longer look at them. And don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!